Where y'all from?
Excuse me?
Where y'all from?
What do you mean, where am I from?
Where you from?
I'm a journalist.
Journalist for who?
I have a YouTube channel.
Called what?
I'm barely informed with Elad.
What?
Can I ask you who you are?
No. Who are
Okay,
you?
so don't worry about it. No, you can't ask me who I am.
Don't talk to none of my fucking people.
What do you mean don't talk to? I'm a journalist. I can talk to who I want to. Okay. Hey everybody, I am your host Elad, and today I'm reporting to you from the Whitney Museum in New York City, where we have people protesting in support of Gaza. Let's go talk to some people, see what's going on.
So you two have to leave. This is not for you guys. So you guys need to leave.
Why?
Because we're not. This is an anti-racist space, and right-wing supporters, Trump supporters, are not welcome here.
I'm not a racist.
Oh yeah, if you're a
We
Zionist,
checked you
you're
on
a racist.
Google.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
These are right-wing bloggers.
These are right-wing bloggers.
This is what they do.
This is what they do.
We've notified the museum guards.
This is harassment. This is harassment.
We're asking them again. They're in our face. This is a
Not
problem.
true. Not true. He came to me, and you saw that. Guys, come here.
All right.
Let's do it. Excuse me, sir. You mind talking over here?
Come on, do what the guy says.
So we're outside the Whitney Museum over here. I see we have a lot of different messages written in chalk over here. I wanted to ask, why are you out here, and what does it mean for you to be out here?
You know, we're out here because as a Palestinian community-led organization, we understand that it's our responsibility to hold accountable those who profiteer from genocide, who profiteer from Zionism. And the CEO, someone who's on the board of the Whitney Museum, Warren Kanders, is the CEO of Safariland, a company that sells tear gas and non-lethal weapons all across the world that have been used to, shoot and harm and sometimes even kill oppressed people all over the world, particularly in Palestine, where we've seen the Great Return March really take on for the past year, in which, it's been going on for over a year now, and over 270 Palestinians have been killed and 25,000 have been injured by these non-lethal weapons that this man is invested in.
So I wanted to follow up on that. As I've heard, every week, I believe on Friday, they have protests, marches at the border, and the Israelis are often scared that people try to breach the border to Israel, and that's why they try to use these non-lethal forces. What other forces do you think they should use, if any? What do you think the solution should be when they go and march at the border?
Well, first of all, Israel is an occupier and Palestine is an occupied population, so they're not supposed to use any force against an occupied population. These are
like in Gaza, though, because they're trying to breach the border, as I understand, into Israel.
They're peaceful protesters, and they're throwing tear gas onto thousands of innocent people that are protesting. They're protesting for their right to return to their homeland, which has been stipulated in UN Resolution 194 ever since 1948. That all those who wish to have a peaceful return to their homeland should be allowed to do so at the earliest practicable date, and that still hasn't been instituted. So what are Palestinians supposed to do when international law and when the international community has continuously failed them for rights that are known to be theirs? They're protesting for that right.
So there's a lot of violence between Israel and Palestine, and both sides could definitely be guilty of doing a little bit too much, I think. There's definitely violence coming from both sides. How do you think we could reduce that violence, if you think that goal makes sense? Do you think we should be trying to reduce violence, and how should we do so?
I don't think that there's necessarily, you can equate the violence that's been going on again. Israel has an army. Palestine is an occupied population that doesn't even have an army, that doesn't have. In Gaza, they can't even leave. They can't leave from any border. Israel controls all borders, and including the water. So how are you equating them?
Well, some of the critics would say that the government in Gaza, Hamas, has been using a lot of those funds to do things like build tunnels and launch rockets. There's been reports of the tunnels and the rockets.
I don't know what you're talking about. You just suddenly switched topics. I don't understand what you mentioned. You suddenly said they're using those funds. Where did that
No, because Israel tries to send money to Gaza, and I know Qatar definitely sends money to Gaza, and they often use those funds in less than moral ways, and often trying to increase their military capacity.
I don't understand your question. I feel like it's completely off base. I feel like you're actually trying to give a statement within a question, and I don't think you make sense. And you're jumping all over the place, and I don't feel comfortable with this interview, and I actually don't consent to this being published anywhere.
Was there anything else you want to say?
No, there's nothing else.
Thank you.